Are you afraid of regaining weight after weight loss surgery? Have you already regained some weight and you're starting to get really scared that you're going to go back to where you were before? In this video, we are going to tackle that tough topic of weight regain, but we are going to look at it through the lens of mindset and your mental health, because I think that plays a huge part in your success after weight loss surgery, and if you had regained, tackling that as well. Hey there, my name is Diana Lopez. I am your bariatric dietitian at My Bariatric Adventure, the place where we guide you as you navigate the twists and turns of your bariatric adventure. Today, we are going to talk about that tough topic of weight regain after surgery. We are talking about the mindset that you need to have, how you can guard your mental health when it comes to talking about the topic of weight regain. People that are 10 years post-op after weight loss surgery have regained about 20 to 25% of the weight that they lost. And for a lot of people, once they get past that first 1 year mark into year two, they really start to struggle with their weight and regain. And so if that is you, tune in because this is the video for you today. All right, so let's dive in and talk about that. But before I do, I just want to let you know we're going to talk about some tips around your mindset when it comes to battling weight regain. If you hang out to the end, I've got an extra pro tip for you that all my successful clients are doing. And at the very end, I've got a freebie for you as well. So stick around to grab a hold of those, okay? All right, so let's dive in. So when we talk about the mindset that you need to have, how you need to guard your mental health as you are tackling weight regain or guarding against that, one of the most important things that you can do is stay committed. Really, dig your heels in and decide no matter what that you are going to work this out, that you are going to stand strong. One of our members of our Facebook community was sharing just that. She had her weight loss surgery many years ago, had some health issues, had some family relational things that she was dealing with, so she had to focus on her family, and so she wasn't able to do for herself and focus on her health and her nutrition as much during those periods of time. And so that just led to a downward spiral where she started to regain a good bit of the weight that she lost after surgery. And so she has been working on tackling that and putting into place all those important things that you need to do, whether it's dealing with emotional eating, whether it's dealing with erratic eating patterns, whether it's just the dislike of exercise. Because if we're honest, don't a lot of us really, maybe exercise isn't our favorite thing to do. So she has made the decision in this last year that she is going to remain committed no matter what happens. She is tackling her mindset. And I couldn't be prouder of her because I think so many of us have to do that when it comes to really working towards those goals and those things that we are so passionate about. So that's my number one tip for you. Stay committed. Don't give up when times get hard, okay? And I think as we talk about mindset and mental health, one of the big things that you need to do for yourself is to be able to manage stress. The higher our stress levels, the higher likelihood that we are going to struggle probably with our weight. Some people struggle with not eating. Some people will struggle, like me, with eating too much when they get stressed out. So maybe you're somewhere in the midst of that, but find ways to manage the stress that you are experiencing. A couple months ago, we had a sleep expert come in and she was talking to us about how to get good, healthy sleep. And one of the things that she started to focus on was how some people really start to feel anxious in the evenings. And what she taught us was box breathing. So if you've never experienced what that is, what all it is when you are feeling stressed out, when you feel you're getting anxious, what you do is you control your breathing. So we have you breathe in for 5, hold it for 5, and then breathe out for 5. And I have a good friend that's dealing with a lot of stressful things in life. That's the one thing that she did differently And she was telling me that she noticed such a big difference in her stress level. So I would encourage you, that's a very simple technique that you can do. You can, if you're at work and somebody's stressing you out, if you're at home and your family, your kids, or somebody else is stressing you out, if you're in traffic and other drivers are stressing you out, that's something that you could do no matter where you are at. So try that, practice that boxed breathing. In our video where we talked about the healthy living things that you can do to avoid regain after weight loss surgery, one of the things that we talked about was exercise and how important exercise was to long-term weight maintenance. But also with stress, exercise is a really, really important thing. I can tell you, last night I had some things rolling around in my mind. I was starting to feel a little stressed out, and I went out in my garden and I gardened for like an hour and a half. And when I came back inside, I felt so much better. And so maybe gardening's not your thing, but maybe it's running, maybe it's bicycling, maybe it's lifting weights, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's cleaning your house. So whatever it is, exercise-wise, that can help clear our minds and help us to look at things in a different way, those things that stress us out. So if you're somebody that's really stressed out, try to carve out a little bit of time. Doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe you haven't exercised in years. Maybe all it is 5 or 10 minutes going on a little bit of a walk. So maybe try that and see. And then the other thing that has really helped me with dealing with my emotions and stress level are doing creative things. And so I'm not great at any one creative thing, but I keep trying. I love painting. I like doing paper mache things. I've tried out jewelry stamping. I love refinishing furniture. So those are some of the things that when I start to feel stressed out, I can go and work on some of those things. So maybe you're not super creative, but maybe it's just getting an app in your phone where you're coloring, one of those coloring apps, or getting an adult coloring book. Try something even as simple as that. Just the creativity in picking out the different colors for the different pictures that you want to use is an expression of creativity, and it helps us so very much. When I was going through treatment for my eating disorder and they were talking to us about creative things, what they were telling us is that creative things help rewire the two hemispheres of our brain so they talk better together to each other. And so that was a real big enticement for me to find creative things that I like to do. And so your creative things might not be mine, but find something that creatively that you really enjoy, that you really could sink your teeth into, and that's something that when life gets stressful, you could set all the stressful stuff aside and work on that. All right? So those are our 3 tips around mindset and mental health when it comes to avoiding weight regain or stopping it dead in its tracks and reversing that weight gain you're having. So let's talk about that pro tip that my clients that are successful are doing. And what they're doing is they're patient. They understand that, like I said earlier, this can take longer than you think, and it can be harder than you think. And so I encourage you, just as I've seen them do, be patient with the process. Give yourself time to make adjustments and see how that works for you. I don't know about you, but when I have been working on something for what I feel like is long enough and nothing happens, I start to get angry. I start to get frustrated. I start to kind of warble in my commitment, and I start to give up. And I can tell you, from past experiences, those things that I have stayed committed to when I have worked with people that they're working through, it doesn't matter if they're working through stalls, if they're trying to gain weight, if they're working with emotional eating, they're committed to keep moving forward and to not giving up. And so that's what I would encourage you to do as a practice for your mental health and your mindset is keep moving forward. Don't give up, and keep doing the things that you know you need to be doing, because your victory will come through that. I remember years and years ago, my husband and I, we decided that we were going to follow this guy named Dave Ramsey, and we were going to follow his program and pay off all the debt that we had. And so that meant I had to work an extra job. That meant we couldn't go out to eat. That meant that we were clipping coupons and doing a lot of things very different than what we were used to. And, probably for the first 2 or 3 weeks, everything went really well. And then we had car trouble. We had things around the house that needed to be fixed. It felt like every time we turned around, there was a new bill popping up, or our water bill was higher than it had been in 2 years. All those sort of things happened. And we wanted to give up so many times, but we stuck it out. And yes, like I said, it took longer than we thought it was going to take, and it was harder than we thought it was going to be. But man, the moment that we paid off all the debt that we had, what an amazing moment that was. And all those lessons that we learned in that hard time still carry us through today. Even when we have hard times happen now, we can remember how we came together. We can remember how things worked out for us. We can remember what it's like to have to go through hard things and find victory in those. So that would be my tip for you. Stay committed, stay patient, keep trudging through, reach out for help when you're feeling discouraged. All right? All right, so that is the pro tip that all my successful patients and clients are doing. Last thing, go down in our description below. We've got a freebie for you, our top 5 strategies for success after weight loss surgery. So go down there, grab that, get started on the right foot. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, please like it so it gets pushed out to more people that need help with figuring out their mindset after they've had some regain. And also subscribe to our channel so that when we have new videos, you get notified of that as well. All right, so you take care, and I will see you again soon, okay? Bye.